Plans for more immediate future appear to be much clearer, as two discussion clubs in Almaty attempted to predict the ways Kazakhstan will develop in 2010.
Kazakh President's Fund predicts the future and sees only vague perspectives for country's financial system. The refinancing conditions for the three major banks are yet to be properly defined. The situation might stabilize in the second half of the year, and it will be clear what to do with the banks. Even though legally everything is set, there are still some uncertainties left. Also, the social tension is here to stay. The state can only build apartments enough for only a quarter of all problematic construction shareholders. The only opposition is that the meeting Oraz Jantosov predicts that businessmen will join the ranks of protesters as domestic buying attitude is worsening. Pensions were raised starting January 1st, and the same will happen with the salaries of state servants in July 1st. It is a positive side of the government's program. However, it is still uncertain whether this will restore the demand to the level of 2007 and 2008. Kazakhstan's future is also being discussed in the Political Decisions Institute. Its representatives named Timur Kulibayev, the president's son-in-law, a power broker. But does Nazarbayev plan to strengthen his positions even further this year? After all, the political party has recently proposed him to handle prime minister's functions as well. Experts, though, have their doubts. I don't think so, because it is a lot of work and requires very good health. Only oil is left beyond the crisis and political reforms. Experts are unanimous in their opinion that changes for the better directly depend on the hydrocarbon world prices.
Vice President of Almaty Stock Exchange, Andrei Tsaluk, says that the domestic stock market is currently frozen and it will take time to defrost it. Brokers are ready to implement the president's assignment and become a top 10 Asian financial center. Local companies, however, do not want to acquire listings.
In the last 16 years only, two companies entered the IPO market in Kazakhstan, Kazmunaygas and Mangistau Electricity Network Distribution Company. The key reason why domestic businesses are ignoring the stock exchange is their reluctance to become public. Exchange representatives say that the state preferences are needed to stimulate local companies. A possible revival of the IPO market is expected in 2010, as it seems that subsidiary organizations of the fund Samruk Kazana are ready for placement, although even stock exchange representatives do not believe this will happen. Frankly, there is no optimism. Why? Because stock exchange infrastructure established in Kazakhstan has changed for the worse during the crisis. Currently, we are losing listing and broker companies.
The Emergencies Minister reported on Monday about retrieving the fifth body from under the debris of the collapsed radar station Daryal-Yu. According to Vladimir Bashko, the search works are now complete.
Rescue operation with the use of heavy machinery lasted for a week. 5 local scrap collectors were retrieved from under debris. Only one survived. The construction collapsed on January 22nd, after which the police initiated a criminal case, currently monitored by the Karaganda Regional Prosecutor's Office. This facility is controlled by the Internal Affairs Department. A complete demolition will follow soon.
Meanwhile, residents of Karaganda are seriously concerned about the future of a local historical landmark. Veterans of coal mining are against the sale of Karaganda Ugel building. In Soviet times, the city was the third major miners' town, and the building of the mine's leadership was nicknamed History in Stone. Now the facility belongs to ArcelorMittal, which put it up for sale last December.
ArcelorMittal's building was constructed in the 60s. Karaganda Coal Union was located here until the 90s, when the building was sold to Mittal together with mines. Now, voluntary group activist Vyacheslav Sidorov says that ArcelorMittal is selling the history of Karaganda, as the company decided to sell the building. We have 22 miners who hold the title of labor heroes. Now their memories might be replaced with something like a shopping center. Activists also submitted an application to participate in the tender. During a press conference, they appealed to Karaganda residents, asking them to collect $4 million and redeem the building. The city's deputy mayor also made the speech, although labor veterans say they didn't invite him here. We thought that this building is historic and under protection of the state. However, it is not on list. The official says that he shares veterans' concern. In response, he was offered to sign the appeal to the governor. I'm not a mayor yet. Sign it as a citizen. As a citizen? Well, yes, sure. Do not talk, just sign the appeal. In the end, the deputy mayor didn't leave his signature. Unexpectedly, ArcelorMittal representatives also showed up at the press conference. They assured veterans that the building will end up in good hands and the tender needed, because it was simply too expensive to pay for such a big office. There are only 92 people working in a 6th-floor building. It's just unprofitable to maintain it. Activists, however, assure that Mittal can afford such office because it has high tax breaks. They say that someone is just interested in buying land at the city center and a predetermined buyer will win the tender.
These were all main news for February the 1st. Thank you for being with us and goodbye.